I'm going to introduce you to my student David, who made 6 figures in his first month with dropshipping. Hey guys, my name is Sagar. In this video, I decided to bring David to the channel so he can share his story and share some important strategies with you guys that will help you actually succeed in your business. So you can finally start generating money online and be able to quit your job so you can buy some Gucci shoes and live the American dream. So I actually wanted to prove the results, that his results are real right here. I'll refresh for you guys. As you guys can see, he took this store from 0 to 6 figures right here, and his profit margin was around 19 to 20%. Enough for the numbers. Let's focus on what you guys came here for. I'll actually let David introduce himself right here.
What's up, guys? So my name is David. I'm 21 and I've been trying to do dropshipping for a while now, and I kind of just struggled with it. And then I saw the cigar was like posting on Instagram the results and opened up like mentorship programs, so I just joined, and that definitely helped me start seeing success this recent month, and that's how I was able to hit the 100 figures. 6 figures.
And like I said, it was the great person to work with. He already knew the basics. You know, he already had everything covered. I didn't have to show him how to connect his Facebook pixel to his store. He know all that stuff. He just needed that little nudge with Facebook ads, and I just showed him how he can perfectly scale. And I just told him, you know, you just got to test products and just keep going. Whatever you're doing, it looks great. Everything looks great. All right, so David, what do you think is like, for this video, I want to make sure like people kind of get the raw value, like the real value. So what do you think is the biggest reason people fail with dropshipping?
So I think when you first start, you overthink about how your website looks and just small little details, and it should be more focused about testing products as much as you can and then letting your ads run and just making decisions based on the data and not because of spending money or because you might not be profitable right away. Because you're focused on making money the first 2 days, but really it might take 5-4 days to see if the product works and then to see if you're going to make money with it.
I see. And that was the biggest reason you wasn't able to make money first few months you was dropshipping?
Yeah, so when I first started like a few stores maybe a year ago, what I noticed was I'll start a product, I'll get some sales, but because the whole campaign was unprofitable, or I was spending $100 and wasn't being profitable towards the end, I just kind of shut down my ads, and I was worried about every little penny that I was spending instead of realizing that I'm more investing into data and seeing if the data is going to tell me, okay, this might be a winner, or continue, it's breaking even, keep working on it, fix the creative or the product page that you might tweak. I just kind of gave up on it and never continue to pursue that product.
Alright, so that's the tip number one. If you run your ads, they don't have to be profitable right away. You have to wait 3-5 days, and if they are getting you good sales, some sales, and they're kind of breaking even, you just let them run for a few days, and then you make thoughtful decision and you just duplicate them, or you know, whatever. If they're super unprofitable, then I would move to a next product. If they're breaking even, I would duplicate them and I would launch more cold interest targeting. I would not launch lookalike audience yet. I would wait till you have 50 to 60 profitable purchases. So again, I want to, you know, have David share his story. Tell people a little bit more about yourself, you know, how you started, where you came from, like all that story.
Yeah, so I came to the United States when I was about 10 years old from Ecuador, and that's kind of when I started just seeing the opportunities that you have here and just learning English and, you know, all that stuff. And then what really introduced me to entrepreneurship will be the social media marketing. I started doing that, even doing videography, photography, and just every little side hustle that you could think of just to make money. And as I saw a video on YouTube that introduced me to dropshipping, I started trying that and not seeing success, but I kind of never gave up on it. I was always interested in learning more, always watching courses, YouTube videos, and really meeting someone that could help you like along the way in a specific thing that's holding you back really helped me see success with it.
I see. And you want to tell people a little bit about all the businesses you started before dropshipping, or like how long it took you to do dropshipping, how many failed stores you have? All right, let's start with all the businesses you have.
Gotcha. So I started with social media marketing for like clients, charging them maybe $2,000, $3,000 a month for like doing their Facebook ads. But it worked for a little bit, but it wasn't consistent enough to where I could scale it. And I also, to be honest, wasn't a master of Facebook ads or what I was offering. So that obviously hurt and didn't make that business work in the long term. I tried videography and did wedding videos and all that, photography, and I just tried a lot of businesses, and they worked for a little bit, but I never gave them my all because I really was passionate about e-commerce and I wanted to work and make that work. And throughout that entire time that I was trying those businesses, I was always like testing either a product or a store, but really just giving up on it because I wasn't profitable right off the bat, or I wasn't making 6 figures in the first 5 days. You know, I was just being impatient about it.
And tell a little bit even about your stores. All the previous failed stores you have. When did you have them? And what was the product? And what the reason you thought you failed?
Yeah, so I started testing, like, let's say I tested this imagination ball. It was this clear crystal ball that photographers use to make like really dope pictures, and I made a whole store, branded it really well, in my opinion, and it made me sales right off the bat. But I just didn't know what that meant. I just thought like, okay, like I'm not profitable, I'm not making money. I should be already making $500 a day with this product because I thought I did a really good job at doing the story and everything. But really, I just didn't know how to do Facebook ads, and that's the main key sometimes to see success when testing a product. I also tried an indestructible shoes. I remember that one, and it was a good product at the time. I think I tried it like a year ago, And then also, I don't know if you guys have seen the electric blender, the USB one. I tried that one about a year ago as well. I saw everyone started selling it on dropshipping stores, and I just always thought of products like that. I was like, oh, I can't compete with them. Like they're saturated. But I don't think really saturation matters if you know the right angle in marketing and you also start mastering that specific advertising platform. It could be Google ads, it could be Pinterest ads, Facebook ads. It really depends whatever you're going to be passionate about and really learn it and just know that you're going to make educated decisions based on what it's telling you and not just your fear of wasting money or spending money.
And like you say, you sold a product that was in the like photography niche. Mm-hmm. Was the reason you picked that product because you knew that product? Or did your research and then pick the product?
Yeah, so with that one, I actually got an ad because obviously I was into photography at the time and I was like trying to do photography, shoots, and all this. And I got a really dope ad where it was like, it was in a mountain just showing the hand holding it, and then it took a screenshot and said a sale, right? So I kind of just went straight to that store and just literally copied what they had and like did the same similar thing, started posting photos and content about that one product. And I was like, man, this is going to work because obviously that person's running ads and they seem to do really well. I could probably pull this off. But because my skills on the advertising side of it weren't as strong, I think that's what really helped me from seeing success with that product. And I don't think there was nothing wrong about the product or the website that I made. It was just not knowing my Facebook ads and my marketing really well.
All right. So the next question, a lot of people have this question, like, what do you think of the concept of making your website look really good, how important you think is, and how your current website that's doing really good, how it's that kind of structure, if you can share that a bit.
So I think when I first started, my first store I did with my best friend, it was a necklace store. And we took about a month to make the website. We wanted everything to look perfect. We deleted all the logos from the photos and like the fonts. We were worrying about colors, like literally every detail. It took us forever. And then we made it live, and we expected people to come, but like nobody came and bought anything because we didn't know the marketing side. We didn't even know about Facebook ads at the time. And then I realized like the store that did the six figures recently, it's a free theme. Like it's not, you shouldn't focus that much on like the website or like the design of it. It should just be focus on your product page and make sure that whatever you're copying, everything makes the person want to buy your product. But it's really your ad creative that will get them to the product page, and the product page's job is to just convert them into a customer. But don't really worry about your homepage or everything looking super perfect, because you could tweak that as you go and as you find the winning product.
And for your product page, do you think people should like spend a lot of time on product page, make sure everything is perfect, or it should be just simple but at the same time elegant, that looks super clean and explain on the points?
I think they should try hard to just make sure that it looks safe for the customer so they don't feel like it's a scam, right? Because, yeah, you shouldn't worry, like, you spend hours and hours on your product page, but at least make sure that that money that you're investing on Facebook ads, you're doing your best to make sure that you're sending them somewhere where you have the highest potential to convert them into a customer. Because why would you spend $100, $500 on ads and not put the work or where the person's going to land? Because then you won't be able to convert them and get as much as return on that investment, right? But just make sure that you have all the criteria and just have a good copy, trust badges that make them feel safe, and just focus on it making it look clean and congruent to whatever you're selling on your creative.
Yeah. So just to explain one more time, the criteria for a product page or your website is simple. Have a good, simple logo, nothing crazy. Don't need to go over the board. Simple font text, have some GIFs or images in the description, and have a trust badge. It doesn't make a big of a difference anymore because people are pretty, if your site look elegant and if you have a free theme from Shopify, your website already looks pretty good. So don't do crazy stuff, just simple pictures, but good quality pictures. You can literally get them from AliExpress, and get a solid copy. And for copy, the copy, I means your product description, you can even take that product description from your competitor. It's not recommended, but you can see what they are doing. Let's say if they're explaining the product in first half, you want to do the same. You can change up the words and have some bullet point, switch it up a little bit, make sure there's some bold letters. So just simple, and you don't want to do copywriting. Believe it or not, copywriting is a skill. It takes 6 to 8 months to learn what really influences people. If you want to put that time into copywriting, I would recommend that putting the time into learning Facebook ads. That's actually going to help you make more money. So you want to focus on your product page, but make sure don't put too much focus. It's like 20% of the work. So make sure it's simple yet clean. Your website looks good. You have good colors. Black and white works great. Don't go crazy. Don't go black background and white color. Just do white background and blank font colors, and just use a simple font type. All right. So the next question I want to talk is, what do you think is the budget to start for Shopify, and what was your budget when you started?
So I think a good budget to start with would be about $1,000, but always make sure to have some type of credit line or capital available, or even a friend that can lend you money. Because if the product does start working, you need to make sure that you have money to fulfill those orders, right? Let's say you spend those $1,000 on advertising. What happens after you get those orders? Like, how are you going to fulfill them? And how are you going to scale that product if you don't have a credit card or something to put in more money into your ads and see a bigger return as you keep going, right? And when I first started testing, I literally only started with $100, because having those 1,000 doesn't mean you're going to spend that in the first day and lose it. It's just enough for you to like be able to buy the data or figure out if that product is even worth pursuing, right? And after you're able to spend a few $100 the first few days and it's bringing you some sales, then you're able to see, okay, like I'm gonna keep investing it because I'm seeing now a return.
That's why I would recommend every single person to open a credit card. Even if you don't have a winner yet, open up a credit card. If you are taking dropshipping seriously and want to pursue it in long term, make sure open a simple, easygoing credit card. Like I said, it's so hard for me to give a perfect credit card, because that's what I know people want to be like, which credit card? It's just different, it's like asking, oh, which food do you want to eat? It just depends on every single person. So what you want to do is, the best advice I can give you on App Store, there's an app called Credit Karma. Credit Karma, and download that, and that app will give you good recommendation what credit card you might get approved for. So that's the best website to go for. So even if you don't have a winner, you want to make sure you have a credit card right now and start building your credit, because it's gonna, like you said, it's gonna help you in long term. And do you want to tell them a little bit about the cash flow issue you probably had when you were scaling and all that stuff? So go ahead.
So when I started scaling, I had about like 2,000 saved to test the product and just make sure that everything worked. But as I saw success pretty fast with it, and I was alongside with the cigar trying to scale the product as fast as I could, because the season as well. We started in November, so it was a perfect season for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas and everything. So it was pretty much after we started scaling to 2, 5, 8K a day, that's when I saw trouble with cash flow, right? I was able to spend maybe $2,000, $3,000 on ads, but because Shopify payments takes 2 to 3 business days for them to deposit the money, I wasn't getting that money back fast enough to be able to process the order. And when you're first starting, which I don't recommend right off the bat, it's just you're buying products from AliExpress and it has a processing time plus the shipping times, right? And it's good to test, but if you want to scale, and that's something that I should have known as well, is to find a dropshipping agent and find faster suppliers, more reliable, because you want your customers to be happy, right? And that's what I saw. I had to ask my parents actually for like a credit card with $7,000 on it to be able to maintain that and scale.
All right. So you didn't have a credit card, but you kind of use your parents' help. So like I said, that's another one. If things are going good, again, it's riskier, but it just depends what's your relationship with your parents, with your family, if they will lend you, if they wouldn't lend you. I mean, you kind of have to wait till Shopify gives you the money. So remember, and again, cash flow is not something I can explain. It's just kind of like the common sense you have to use on your brain, like how much are you spending and how much time it will take to get the money back. So like I said, the simple rule I use, it doesn't work every single time. But if you have a credit limit of 5,000, you want to divide the number by 4. So 5,000 divided by 4 is $1,250, and that's how much you want to spend on ads each day. Nothing more than that. If you spend more than that, you will run into cash flow issues, because Shopify wouldn't give you the money on time, or there will be a weekend the money doesn't get deposited, and you run into that issue. So I use the divide by 4 rule, and that's what I did in the beginning. And I would pay it off and spend, pay it off, spend it. And if you have actually, if you want to recommend American Express, if you have American Express, you can even divide the credit line by 3, because with American Express is way faster process. Like I said, we are talking about too much of credit cards, but this is what I would recommend. Just kind of use your common sense and see what's working, and try to keep it slow, and try to get the credit line going up. And the best advice is probably use your parents' credit card. That probably doesn't support you. It's risky. Do it at your own risk. But that's, every business comes with a risk. If it wasn't risky, everyone would be doing it.
So with that, like the reason why they were able to like lend me the money is because I proved that the product was working, right? You guys shouldn't go right off the bat and ask for a credit card of $7,000 just to test products and like spend that money and like risk it. The reason why I did that is because I knew it was working. And I just wanted to keep up to fulfill the orders, right? So it was a good reason. It wasn't a bargain for them. They weren't like, oh my god, like he's gonna lose that money. It was just like, okay, he literally needs it to keep up with the business and to continue working with it. And also, like, make sure everything's good with PayPal and you're submitting all the paperwork so they don't hold your money, because that definitely happened to me. And it was just really frustrating to get $8,000, $10,000 just held for a while, and you can't do anything about it. But be prepared from your own side and know, like, hey, like, if I'm going to try to scale this fast, I should have this in place. And that's something that I wish I would have known before,
Yeah. And like I said, I kind of had the same issue when I scaled up. I asked my because I hate using credit card for anything, because I didn't want to go into debt scaling this product. But I asked my dad for $5,000, he didn't lend me, so I just used my credit card anyway. So like I said, it depends on your relation. And like he said, there's the hold issues. These are inevitable issues. Stop asking how you can avoid PayPal hold. You cannot avoid that. Why PayPal or Shopify or Stripe hold your money? They want to make sure you're a legit business. You are not scamming people. They're just protecting their customers. So it's just inevitable. If you want to go through that. That's why me personally recommend starting a niche store. Because why? Over time, you build the reputation of your niche store with PayPal, with Shopify and Stripe. And like, I would scale my store to 50,000 a day. And I was doing consistently for 12 days. I did 50,000 every single day. And I ran into no hold issue. Why? Because you build off that. Your brand, whatever your domain name is, the Shopify or PayPal process the domain name. Oh, it's good. Every time this person does high volume, he always delivers. The orders get shipped. So that's how you build a goodwill with your PayPal and all that stuff. So these are inevitable issues. That's why I personally don't like the idea of one product store. But what you can do, if you have one product store, you can literally just buy a new domain and use that domain for PayPal. So let's say your store say California.com. You want to buy another domain, bigcalifornia.com, and so in domain, basically you can connect multiple domains to one store. So you use one domain for all the payment processors, and you just keep switching the secondary domain. That's how you do it. Like I said, this is all complicated stuff, but you have to go through this, and you eventually want to make sure whatever they ask you, give them all the information, have the best customer service. That way, when in future you can scale to 100K, you can scale to 50K, you can scale to 1 million a day, whatever you want, So you want to pay close attention to that. So another question I want to ask you, what about all the people who say the dropshipping is dead? What do you want to say to that community?
So to that, it's just like his results and my results and just everyone that you see, like, that just proves that it's not dead, right? And I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. I just think the barrier of entry for it would just increase the price range, right? Because Facebook ads costs will continue to increase, and scaling a product might be a little bit harder. That's why he suggests in his videos, like, test a product with more than $20, $30 profit margin, right? Because at first you're going to be getting really good margins, but once you start scaling to, let's say, $50,000 a day, you're going to see that your margins are going to decrease, right? And if you have that space that he recommends, then you'll be okay and you still be profitable, and you're going to be happy of the profit that you make that day, even if you're making 50 to 100K that day, right? And just try to also learn as many skills as you can, because the more skills that you have to help you succeed and make your product page, website, ad creative better, the more chances you have of succeeding in this space. Let's say videography, editing, all that will help you tweak little stuff that your competitors can't do. And yes, dropshipping before work, then you could just copy that creative and not do any work and just test it, but that will not last long enough. And you want to focus on building a long-term brand or a well-known niche store that would allow you to show all the payment processes that you're a legit business, and those skills will allow you to build that and not just have to pay other people as well.
All right, so the next question, are you going to college, and if what would you recommend? A lot of people have this question of how to balance all the college work.
So I don't suggest anyone to just drop out and start testing something. I think while you're in college and you're trying to figure out what you want to do and what you're interested or passionate about, you should start researching and building a skill, right? Because that skill set will allow you to then make money using that. And the better you become with that skill, the money will literally follow you. And that just what goes with everyone. Like the money will follow Cigar because he knows how to master Facebook ads, and he continue to use that skill to make money in the e-commerce world. So if you're thinking of like, oh, should I just get a job and work and then do dropshipping full on or go to college? You should go to college if that's what you want to do, and still test what you're passionate about. Try it out, and if it starts working out, then you can make a more educated decision. Like, hey, like I'm gonna pursue this full on. It's working great. And if it's not, then try something else. Maybe it's not for you. The online business isn't for everyone, but it's definitely something that is attainable, right?
Yeah, great advice. Every person have different perspective. For me, I would recommend people, what you do is you want to first, if you're going to college and you are not sure if you should drop out or not, you want to make first solidify that I can make money with dropshipping. So what you want to do is, for me, I would get a high-paying job. High-paying job is get a job in sales, become an insurance agent, become a car salesman, or the cleaners, the professional building cleaners that does get paid a good amount of money, like the little security jobs. I will find like the truck drivers, or the lace driver, or the towing truck driver. I'll get some job like that I can make 4,000 to 6,000, and I'll do that job for 2-3 months, and I'll try to save at least 10,000, and then I would personally quit my job, and then I would focus on college and dropshipping at the same time, and see which one can you make it work. Because I don't want to say this, but if you are trying to dropship and you already wasted 10,000, I would kind of have to make this assumption you are not smart enough to figure things out, and it's going to be really hard for you to survive in business. I might be being rude to you, but that's kind of reality. If you wasted so much money and you still haven't figured out, it's probably the business is not the right thing for you. You should probably stick with college. And another thing I see, a lot of people blame gurus. Oh, I spent 26,000, I spent 50,000. First of all, when you spend first $2,000 and you didn't get the results, why would you spend more money? So it's stupid to always blaming other people. They're so easy to blame other people. So you want to learn from first 1,000 spend. You want to see what you did wrong. Take the next step forward. Take the next step forward. So like I say, if you have already lost 10,000 and still haven't gotten no results, I would probably think business is not for you. You're not smart enough. Sorry if I'm being rude, but that's the reality. All right. So the next question I want to talk about. You want to add to that?
Yeah. It's funny that he mentions the whole sales job thing, because when I first met him around like mid-April, I think, I told him like, oh yeah, I'm starting dropshipping, like I want to learn, like, and just like give me some tips. And he literally just told me like, just get a sales job and save money to start testing products. And that's what I did. I started like a sales agency and started selling stuff like courses and digital products. And that helped me save up money to be able to test those products. And at the time, I already dropped out of college, and that was literally the only way. It was either that or work a regular 9-to-5 job and save money there. So that's a perfect advice. And even most rich people tell you they start with sales job, door to door, or like anything will allow you to have no limit and how fast you could make that money. Because in 9-to-5, you just make whatever the owner decides that you're worth that hour. In sales, there's no limit besides your ability to just be the best.
All right, so let's get back to the products. You want to tell people how did you find this product you're exactly selling, what niche it is, and even what would you recommend to people? How would they find products if they want to go ahead and start finding products?
So with this product, I'm personally already in the music niche, and then I love music and I do music myself. So I started getting ads a lot about that, and mostly you find a lot of products just based on your feed. You don't have to try super hard to find that winning product. If you're already seeing an ad that keeps popping up maybe 5 times in your feed and you see other people selling it, that's a good sign that you could maybe test that. And as Sagar explains in a lot of his videos, like, look at their creative, look at their product page to learn, and then you could even see like all their active ads on the Facebook ads library. You could check the order amount if they're selling that product on AliExpress. And that's exactly what I did with my product. I found the niche, found someone selling it, checked AliExpress, it kind of matched up with the good orders, good reviews, went and found the creative as well, saw that the creative had good engagement, and just everything started in the check off, right? Started checking out, okay, this creative works nice, the owner of the store is selling in this angle, I'm gonna try the same thing. And why reinvent the wheel and try to be unique or create your own ads when you should just test if it works out for you, and then after that start tweaking and making it your own.
Yeah. So far we have covered a lot in the video, but I just want to bring back one major point that covered in the video. Do you agree with that? The reason between your old failed store and the reason this was successful, that you let your ads run and you waited patiently, and even if they were breaking even, you still ran with them, and you eventually used more cold targeting interest, and eventually when they got you 40, 50, 60 sales, then you launched lookalike audience.
Yeah, so when we started testing the product, I think I was unprofitable the first 3 days, right? I was literally losing money. I think I was like negative $30, $50 the next day, and then negative like $10 the third day. And I was already feeling like I felt every single time that I did a store, like, okay, I want to give up on this product, or I guess I have to switch it and it's just not going to work out for me. And then Sagar told me like, oh, sometimes even a product that breaks even could work. You just have to be more patient about it and just let it run and let the data tell you, okay, you know what, move on, or just keep looking at the numbers and wait until you're like, get more interest, or you start testing more interest that start working for you, and you can keep duplicating them and making them. Now you have the control to make that profitable. And I think that was really what helped me succeed this recent month and see success. It was just actually being patient, and also having a mentor that does tell you like, hey, like, relax, like, just let it tell you if it's going to work or not. Don't try to tweak everything the day of. Or let's say you launch ads and you spend $100 and you see that some of them aren't working. Don't just go and turn them off because you're scared of losing those $20. Wait it for like 2-3 days and then be like, okay, like, you know what, that they lost me money, but it's okay because I found 2 to 3 that did make me money, and now I just duplicate, repeat, and just rinse and repeat that process.
Yeah, and there's a complete difference between an unprofitable product and breaking even. Breaking even product would be considered something, let's say you spend $200 in ad spend, and the product has made you about, let's say, overall made you $200 back in revenue, something like that. So after doing the every math and everything, you are only losing $50 about. I'll consider that product breaking even. But if you're running this product for 4 days and you only got like 3 or 2 sales, that's an unprofitable product. But you ran for 4 days and you only got 7, 8, 9 sales, and it's kind of doing still unprofitable, but it's getting some sales. That means it could be a potential winner. It's never a guarantee, but it could be a potential winner. All right, so just kind of wrap up the video. What are the 3 main things you would recommend all the newbies who are starting out, kind of struggling with dropshipping? You would recommend them.
So I think one of the main things will be, first, your mindset when you're first starting this business is not a get rich quick type of business model. Sure, that's what a lot of people portray it as, but it's not like that. Like, you have to be patient. You have, like we talked about, you have to let your money like tell you if something works or not. Just actually keep trying and learn the skill and master what you're trying to do, right? And make sure that you don't think, okay, like, just because I launched these ads, I'm going to be rich the next day, or I'm going to be profitable and everything's going to work out. It might take you 10 products for you to test to find that winning product, or it might be the first product that you test that works. It really depends on your situation and what happens, and like also how much money you're willing to invest. The more money that you're willing to invest, the faster you'll be able to learn how many products you're testing and which one works. And if you just are in high school or you're young and don't have that much money, you can still test with $30, $20 a day. It's just going to take you a little bit longer, and you have to be patient. I think the second thing will be making sure that you have Facebook ads skill and like a mentor or someone helping you with that side of the business, because that's the advertising is one of the most important things. If you don't get people to your website, how are you going to convert people to customers, right? Just making a nice little website does not make you money. You have to make sure to know how to drive people there to your offer. And I think the third thing will be just actually focusing on customer service and being responsible with everything about the business, not just focusing on a big revenue screenshot, but actually saying, okay, I have my shipping times in place. I'm replying to customer surveys. Like, I'm actually trying to build a long-term brand, not trying to make a quick buck.
Yeah, and from the numbers, how much is your profit have you made so far? That's probably the most question we're going to get in the comment.
Yeah, so let's say out of the 110,000 that recently altogether from last month, about 19 to 20% profit for it. So
all right, so that's about $21,000, and currently he doesn't have any of it. All that money is in hold, and that's just a reality. When you start out in the first, it's in the hold, but it's still your money. It's gonna get released after 1 month or 2 months. That's the reality of things, and best about hold is, once you get the hold, you wouldn't get the hold next time. So after 45 days, you can always request the company, let's say it's Stripe or Shopify Payments or PayPal, be like, hey, can you guys please review my application again? It's been 45 days. We haven't had any disputes. You have a solid customer service. I just hired another person for my email support, and hired another person for my phone support, and they might be able to look at your application and release the money faster, so you can start able to scale again. So thank you so much, David, for coming on the channel. And he actually flew out from LA, and like I say, great story. And I think the reason for his success is he actually kind of believed in himself, and he was ready. I didn't have to show him stupid stuff. He just needed the perfect nudge that, hey, you need some patience. Keep testing products. And like I said, if this product didn't work out for him, I was going to tell him the same stuff. Go out there, make another store, or change the product on the store and test this product again. Test a different product, test a different product, keep testing different product till you get the good results and everything is solid in place. And again, a lot of people are going to get the question of what kind of store it is. It's a one product store. And do you think it matters personally for you that if it's a one product store, a niche store, or a general store in the success of a product?
I think in my personal opinion, branding a little bit does help maybe make the customer feel more part of the community and that they're buying the more like reliable brand, I guess, or known. But obviously there's people killing it with general stores, niche stores, and I actually kind of made mine more into a niche. I have about 4 extra products that relate to that specific product I'm selling, right? So that just makes it seem like, okay, not only do they sell that one product, but I could go here and depend on them for like other music products, and they're going to keep selling updated products and really focus on like making my life as a musician easier, right? And also when he was talking about starting, like you have all the knowledge on YouTube to start, and literally just going through his channel will like literally help you get started with testing products and how to see success. Even if it's $100 a day, that's real stuff, right? Like you just proved that you can make money in this business. You don't have to be making 50K a day or 8K a day to just feel like this is a real business. Just be patient and work hard and follow every advice, and just make sure you stick to one strategy and not try to do everything at the same time.
All right, thank you so much, guys, for coming here. Actually, we're gonna do even another video. We'll do a detailed case study. We'll go more like tactical, how to find product, how to really find product, exactly strategy. We'll go dive into Facebook ads and all that stuff. We will even try to show you the ads manager without revealing the product because he still want to scale the product, you know. So thank you so much for being on the channel, and peace. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll remember. Hold on. Make sure to smash the like button. We didn't even say it once, so make sure to smash the like button.
Make sure to follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, I'll put his Instagram right there on the screen. All right, guys, have a great day and peace.